Hi Napoleon, thank you for the loan. I've finally rented this Ferrari. Believe it or not, I extended to 7 days because it was so addictive. It actually costed me 5 grand, which is hard to pronounce for me. The car is just beautiful. The one thing I didn't like about this particular rental is that they rise it up. You can see the Yobo stickers and the Yobo spoiler, and they painted the roof into a two-color situation. I know it looks probably ugly from an Australian standard, but because this is Taiwan, the beauty standard is different. They like cars to look a bit like a Fast and Furious kind of car, which from my Australian point of view, absolutely depreciated the value and the pure class of a Ferrari. But however, because it's a rental, so I was pretty lucky to get my hand onto one of this. Let me tell you something about this car. It's a very difficult car to drive because it is very wide. You can see that the width is very, very wide. It's almost like a Holden Statesman. I think it's very wide for what it is. And most of the parking space, the boxes aren't big enough. I have another funny video which you can see how wide it is, myself showing my ass. But this video is just try to be a little bit more serious. And it's very hard to drive compared with Porsche, BMW M3 or C63, because your view is actually quite limited, and you have to drive with a passive safety in mind, because the problem with driving this is scooters in Taiwan, they don't see you very well, and also on the freeway, the Taiwanese driver aren't very good. They also don't see you very well. You got to drive a bit defensive driving. You got to worry that people don't see you, especially being so low on the ground. When I had it first day, it felt very scary because it is not cheap to repair. But one of the things that this car did not give me confidence was it has an excessive steering wheel feedback when you compare this with a BMW M3, C63 and Porsche. The electronic stability program does not engage as soon as how I would like to. It is a very frightening car to drive because the steering wheel just seems to give so much feedback. But after 2 or 3 days, I'm used to it now. And I'll give you a very short conclusion before we start introducing the car, is that this car gives you a feeling that you will kill yourself. Gives you a feeling that it's not as safe. But I think what Fifth Gear said and Top Gear and Jeremy said was always been true after driven this. It feels like it can kill you, but the feeling is fantastic because of the fact that it does not feel as safe as a Porsche or BMW 335 M3 or C63. You feel excited. It's like you feel adventurous in this. You feel you have fear, and the engine note has a soul, which it's not anything that can be matched by C63 or M3 or anything or Porsche. Let's have a look at the interior. Now the interior is pure Italian passion. You can see here, it's just this leather here. It feels a lot like a Hermes handbag. Also here, this feels just like a Hermes handbag. And the seat here is just absolutely beautiful to touch. All the material they use is unmistakably beautiful. Carbon fiber inside. And when you sit inside this Ferrari, you can see your driving position, your rev counter, which revs all the way to 8,500 RPM. Speed will finish at 360 kilometers per hour. The engine start. But this is the ESP mode, electronic stability program, which has a snow, anti-skid, sport and race. I keep it here. I try here, I shit my pants, because when you drive this car, what it does is the steering wheel, instead of, you're holding the steering wheel like this, but the steering wheel is actually fighting you back all the time, going like this. It's not that the tire is out of balance, or anything abnormal. I know cars long enough to know what's normal, not normal. It's just the feedback is so phenomenal. It's so incredible. And the Taiwanese road has so many bumps that it doesn't sort of absorb the bumps for you. That's why actually it's a little bit scary to drive this. When you sit in the seat, your driving position, you can see the scoop, the bonnet there finish, which is very exciting to see. You see the bonnet, the curving angle, the fat face. And the other side there, you can also see the finish here. You see there, and the leather, even the roof, the car's roof, the leather here is just. Let me put the focus. This leather, even the roof, the leather is just. Look how soft it is. See, this can press it in, it comes down. It's so soft. This is the ceiling, and this ceiling the skin feels better than Jordan's ass. You know who Jordan is, right? And look at the pillar. The pillar is stitches, very beautiful here, stitches. So nice to touch. The whole car smells beautiful. The plate, the Ferrari plate here, and all this is enough to give you an erection. And here, this is no Toyota plastic. This is aluminum. I would believe this is probably aluminum with what's it called? CNC machine aluminum. It's beautiful. The leather here, all the stitches work. The carpet and the seats, and the back there, the Ferrari engine. When you turn around, you can see your engine revving there. Beautiful engine in the back. You can see it's very spirited. It's just, oh my God! It's just, this car is just beautiful, and the ride is very soft. It's actually softer than the C63, because when you choose this mode, the suspension setting kind of changes. It's very soft, very comfortable to be cruising slow. And look at the attention to this detail here. Even here, this is like a deer skin or something. I mean, you smell it. Oh my God. Oh, it just smells beautiful, And let's have a look at the end. And today when I went to a gas station, I want to get out of a car to put the gas in. I press this button, the gas lead opens. This car, it's all about statement. I drive this car to hotel. When I used to drive my little tin can, they say there's no parking space. I drive this to hotel. I say I would like a parking space. They move furniture, they move things to get a parking space for me, and they don't charge me for parking space. It just shows how skin depth people are these days, which is very sad to see. But I'm still very passionate about this Italian car. Let's have a look at the engine. Sorry about my car. The engine is just very beautiful here. You can see the back. Look at the back of this engine here. Oh, look at this. And this particular car, the exhaust system has been modified with Innotech Performance exhaust, which has 2 valves. And the valve is electronically controlled. You can use this control here. You see this remote control? It has on and off. What this remote control does is, when you press it off, it brings back the sound to a stock. When you press it on, it brings the noise back to the loud situation. And it's very beautiful. It's just a beautiful car to look at. Like the whole thing about this. When you drive it, the wind deflecting down on the bottom. But the one thing, let's talk about the weaknesses. The actual speakers in the stereo system. Can I tell you something? It is like you're starlet. It is absolutely hopeless. But the funniest thing is, since the first day I had it, I never wanted to switch on the radio. When you drive this, you knew that the engine was the main aspect of the car. Like, we switch on the music. The guy sitting next to me kept telling me to turn the music off. We turn the music off. We just listen to the engine revving all the time. But I must say, the first 2 days, I was very disappointed with the car. Because when you thrash this thing, the steering wheel constantly telling you that the traction of the car is not very well. It's not very good. But apparently, because it's meant to be like a real full-on race car. The steering wheel gives you a feedback for a professional race driver, which tells you how to handle the car. But for a normal driver like myself, like you don't have enough skill to understand what the feedback is. So I let the throttle go. When you drive a Porsche, BMW, C63, AMG, and Audi, and all that sort of German stuff, the feedback is being filtered out by the ESP, Electronic Stability Program, which engages much earlier than a Ferrari. But this is a car that will reward a true driver, a true race car driver like Tiffany Dale in the fifth steer, a former F1 driver, someone like Michael Schumacher. On the straight line, I can thrash it. In the corner, I'm a bit afraid still. And probably also because it's a rental. You know, the guy told me that their membership in January, which is a Chinese New Year, he will have a Lamborghini Murcielago, which is a six-door, you know, the one Tim had on the Gold Coast. This particular model is a 2008, and unfortunately, he doesn't have any newer car like Ferrari Italia, which is the current model, and a Ferrari Aventador. But 2008 Ferrari, looking like this, it is still turning head. And not only that, it's just that it's the first experience I had with a F430, and I can see what the Italian is doing and what they're coming from. And thank you very much for your birthday present. I'll talk to you on MSN. Thanks, Mike. Originally, I was going to rent it for 1 day, but I extended to 5 days, which actually costed me $5,000 Australian dollars, maxing out the credit card. But it's all worth it, you know. After this, I would never look at a Boxster, a Porsche, or any European car. I'm just going to go back driving my shitty tin can. You know, live 5 days king, 7 years peasant. That's my life. Because, you know, I went there, I done it, I spent the money, I used the money well, and I'm a happy man. And my dream has been fulfilled. All the 4.5 years of working hard without any vacation, losing this voice, shouting people in the factory because they're not working properly, and becoming the slave of the Western world because I am only their OEM factory, which they tell me what to do. And I make things for them. I make very little money. Has been paid back. Has been awarded. I'm a very happy man. And I can go back work harder now. Thanks, Napoleon. Thanks for your present. Arigato gozaimashita.